92.9. Together with our sponsors, I feel so much. You betcha one before you know, no idea. I don't take Shannon so bad, on daily basis, a radia casa jumediano eso. It's only 2 p.m. because you know na akwako yensem no bebre. I don't pay yene wo edi eho enkomo na afi yehu baby asa enkomo nyina no akwako si. Now you know the former sanitation minister, Mama Cecilia Abenadapa. Ninsensem a eba ye ni mates no wo mote ne fie allegedly we were told say wo mo akwako wia ne sika over $1 million eno ho nkomo ekoye bebre ewo oman ye mo. Now enkomo a epie free mu a eba no and it's office of the special prosecutor finding interest in that particular matter. Yebeko High Court. I mean, ups and downs, you know, akwako ye bebre. Now finality, you know, was that office of the special prosecutor make reference and refer issues, you know, Edema Yoko together with the attorney general say, I mean, one more enche na afe mumapa entime enkoso. Now between the office of the special prosecutor and afe Yoko, one more juma sasa one more yeno akwako yensem bebre. Now accusation and counter accusation and koso about this particular same matter, all in the sense say Yoko for said yes, or the docket Brian said yenye investigation about an allegation a border on money laundering. Yet the required information I hear any juma amoye dada to establish a prima facie issue case, you know. Ningina no one fan kaho. Attorney General July say a DNT. I mean, Office of the Special Prosecutor no ebe making reference to Yoko without duly allowing the necessary information. No say ebetimi flow na Yoko so ebetimi edi aye juma. But so what's the communication director for a year? The Office of the Special Prosecutor, simple put, was it that Office of the Special Prosecutor, no, and yen juma eno. Ma yenko na yentie no, na yemra, yaba, yabetrim, na afe watching me atiasi.
And then we also face what we call sponsored attacks and propaganda, where those who are very rich and powerful, when you are investigating them, they tend to be able to offer some monetary incentives to even journalists and and then we also face what we call sponsored attacks and propaganda, where those who are very rich and powerful, when you are investigating them, they tend to be able to offer some monetary incentives to even journalists, and they will consistently be attacking you and spewing counter and false information against your outfit, all in a hope to create that impression that we are all the same. Nobody is perfect. Why are you trying to prosecute somebody or investigate somebody as if you are a saint? But the idea is that those of us in the anti-corruption industry are not saints. We're just trying to go by the law. When the lawmaker was putting together the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act, they took something very key out of it, which in implementing our law, we've discovered that it shouldn't have been done, which is what we call the Unexplained Wealth Order. It was taken out of the OSP Act, and it's a very problematic matter for us because of the caliber of people we are to investigate. They are more complicated, they have more money, they have more people, they can get the best lawyers and all that. And this is a provision that would have helped us to do lifestyle audits in a better way. Currently, if we are doing a lifestyle audit, the onus lies on us throughout the entire investigation to show to the court how they committed the corruption. But if we have this, we are sure that when we're able to prove that your lawful income does not match your assets, then the burden shifts to you. We don't have that.
And that is a year Ura Same Dakon speaking, director in charge of communication and strategy at the Office of the Special Prosecutor at the 14th Regional Conference of Heads of Anti-Corruption Agencies for Commonwealth Africa, explaining some of the challenges that the Office of the Special Prosecutor go through in their fight and as in their quest to say what to me a two ketas share any proyeno ase now concerns no be a year. Nkrofo a womo try say womo be influence the office of the special prosecutor alongside Nejuma Wanonso Aye. Plus, I mean, many other substantial issues Wanono every say a part of their challenges. All this while, no, I mean, they've not been able to deal with. Now, the current one, no, the brouhaha between themselves and then the Iyoko indicating, say, I mean, issues about money laundering, as I said, information bill honoma OSP no etimi a release. But OSP said there be agenda juma no Iyoko also your investigative body. And you know, I mean, you depending on me, and I will share me some information more and send where to me I juma no. It is neither here nor there. And for that reason, no. And also, Akwakoye and Sembebu. Right, Godfrey Yabo Dame is of the view, sir. I mean, certain information ought to be shared. Sir, OSP no ejitumu pass why investigation. And what the basis in tia, yeah, this such allegation, no, edebo ma Mississippi Abenada pa. I mean, they should be able to share those information. Now, ebebwa yokon so investigation. I want also as I said with me. But on the other side, Office of the Special Prosecutor is simply saying, sir, look, Yoko, any Attorney General, sir, Moshana Munye interested about this whole issue, sir, affecting and a border on my Mississippi Abenada pa. Just tell Ghanaians, I mean, Mone Ghana for one kasa, na mumfantu just say, as office, no, Munye interested in investigating those matters, and as well, you, the Attorney General, no, onye ready, say, Ubetimia prosecute any matters, sir, a border on Cecilia Abenada pa, but not to shift the blame, sir, as if, sir, OSP no ana SS wo ye adwuma bi de ma Yoko no na wono nso ahye da abo apayonti or say one year for that reason no ama yaba bedru baby a yadri. Now those are some of the things AC between the two major institutions presumably as I said one more eye nkrofo one more boy my way ma yetimi fighting against again corruption. Now we'll go on to the line shortly na yene again empenifo a womo ewo nimdie eba na keta se ne proye ne kono a ye ne ombedi nkomo surely na afi yetimi age womo adwenche. What will be the way forward if these two major institutions no ISS I mean collaboratively no mutimi ye adwuma bom no kontokwa I mean we intend ho ase we so entry money nua. What is going to be the end game and then the end result at the end of the day? We'll get onto the phone line shortly. Na afi yetimi akwakoje sa suya hunono. But Shannon Sumami say your numbers is 055-0596-929, 055-0567-929. Ubetimi join here live. Our Facebook no so Kessben TV and afi Kessben FM 92.9 HTMI na wode wadwen cheni nyina no afa swaba. And bra Electoral Commission no a limited registration exercise no as a lot of challenges in keten and a buyer in some areas. Earlier on the program we reported to you some of the issues na bemu baby so it began on a very successful note and it will take time na afe yakọ back na yahwese and bra saying anani na no esi koye which areas. Now the Electoral Commission again is accepting challenges a buyer, but I mean going forward enya idea ebetimi SCCBM they will make sure say one more accurate sa eneba ni nyina ba me nko ahomane so na mene Mr. Edem said no enkodi enkomo emra wono co-chair edema the citizen movement against corruption na anope mene no eni enkomo. Mr. said no if you can hear me, good morning and thanks so much for your time.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Very well. So first off, the brouhaha between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and then that of Iyoko. I mean, what are we supposed to do as citizens of this country if these two major institutions that are presumably supposed to, I mean, fight against corruption, and then there ought to be some level of collaboration between the two in ensuring that we get to the finality of some of these matters. Yet they do not want to agree with each other in their line of duty.
Well, I think that citizens should pay attention to what the various mandates are, what the Office of the Special Prosecutor is required to do, and what Iyoko is supposed to do. Understanding their roles will help a lot in matters like this.
Okay.
In this instance, the matter that the OSP had requested that Iyoko look at is a matter of saying that, look, we found a lot of monies. Madam couldn't explain. Our law doesn't allow us to check money laundering, but because she couldn't explain the source of it, we believe there is some money laundering, and we want to investigate. Now, Yoko seems to be saying that, but the docket you supplied to us does not have the evidence of money laundering, which is a technical issue. It's technical because Yoko is required to investigate itself and establish the evidence. So if they are saying there's no evidence, it's almost like you went to court, as if they were the court and they have to receive the evidence. But that's not what the OSP is asking. OSP is saying, look, this is the little information I have gathered. In my information, witnesses have spoken. We are not able to reconcile her salary as a public officer and the huge hundreds of thousands of dollars found with her. She's not been able to explain. Okay. But we see that under your law, there's a section across that says that if we have an individual who is not able to explain the large disproportionate difference between the monies available or properties available and the income, that person is deemed to have committed a crime under your law. So we are handing it over to you because we think your law adequately covers this issue. It takes citizens actually understanding the two mandates to appreciate. I understand because I've looked at the two mandates. I'm clear in my mind that Yoko ought to have investigated first, not expect that the Office of the Special Prosecutor will give them all the evidence they need to just proceed. So that's the stage where we find ourselves.
Very well. Now, fortunately for us, yesterday you happened to be at the conference. I mean, the 14th Regional Conference of Heads of Anti-Corruption Agencies for Commonwealth Africa. Now, the question is that if Yoko truly has the mandate as part of their regulations or their laws, I mean, why is it that they are so much dependent on the fact that the Office of the Special Prosecutor will have to come out with the entire information? And then seemingly you have the Attorney General who is almost making same commentaries in support of Yoko's claim.
Well, it is unfortunate. I don't think this was an issue that should have gone to the Attorney General because Yoko has two mandates, investigation and prosecution. Investigation of matter is simply somebody has provided me a certain lead.
Okay.
Any citizen could have done that. That, look, based on the way I'm watching the things going on in this house, I think that there's some economic crime going on. And then I give you a few details that on this day I saw this come in, on that day I saw that car, and then at night around midnight I saw this. So I want you to check. Our investigative bodies on that lead are supposed to. That is enough to trigger an investigation. Now, investigation is not something that requires special advice. It is when you get to prosecution, when you want to be sure that in presenting before the court, you don't leave any leads or gaps that then the case will be thrown out. Then you go to the Attorney General. And their law says that when it gets to prosecution, they can consult the Attorney General. Attorney General. So it is strange for us that they haven't gotten to prosecution and we're going to the ages. Let me give you an example. Maybe this will help. It's like you have one group responsible for dealing with issues of stealing.
Okay.
That group must investigate, and then if necessary, they find something credible, they go to court and they'll prosecute. Then you have another group focused on murder. They are supposed to investigate, and if they find good leads, then they go to prosecution. Okay. So, let's say OSP is the murder group, and Yoko is the stealing group.
Yeah.
OSP is saying that we're investigating murder. But at the end of the day, we found no bodies. But as we were doing it, we found that certain sums of money had disappeared from this piece. And the information we have clearly relates to stealing. So we are handing over the little information we have with the leads on stealing, so that you can start a case on stealing and also get to court. Then the group responsible for stealing writes to the group in response for murder and say, but we have not seen your full report on the murder. And the murder people are like, but you don't need that. What you need is the small information we give you that while we're investigating the murder, we found these 2-3 things that show that money has disappeared. And because your law covers stealing, we are saying, please investigate and then you go to prosecution. But the stealing people are saying, no. The evidence you provided is not enough. Meanwhile, you are supposed to investigate yourself. So there's a disconnect because even if they got the murder report, the murder report will not help them because they are responsible for stealing. So the request they are even making for the full investigative report from OSP doesn't make sense in terms of the logic of what is going on because investigation on murder will not contain anything that helps with dealing with stealing. And that's the problem. So I hope I have made it a bit clearer.
Yes, it's clear now. So what it means is that what the Office of the Special Prosecutor is asking of Yoko, I mean, is clearly within his mandate as an institution. So they ought not to be this kind of misunderstanding between the two institutions.
Absolutely. They are supposed to investigate. If what they are doing, and I worry because sometimes it has implications. They are past there. I'm sure from the high level to the low level, who will know that what some of the leaders are saying is only going to bring the institution into disrepute. Because that is your mandate under the law. It is clearly spelled out. It is almost like saying, I don't want to do my work. You should have done the investigation on stealing and brought me the evidence. But you are the one responsible for stealing. The other group is responsible for murders. The investigation they did was only on murders. And they know very well that if they bring a report to you, it is likely not to help you. What is relevant is witnesses who have given information about how the stealing happened or did not happen. And so they know that in the witness statements, you will find the evidence you need on hundreds of thousands of dollars and whatnot, which nobody has been able to explain. And they are saying, start with those witnesses and now establish that truly we called Madame Dapa back because they gave Madame Dapa a form to try and explain. She didn't. She never was able to. So they are saying, you look at the evidence from the witnesses, call her back and see whether she can explain. If she's able to explain, there's no problem. If she's not, then you know there's a credible case or likelihood of some money laundering or something having gone on. So it is surprising that Yoko is insisting. I am not too sure what they are up to, but for those of us who understand what the law is, this should not happen. Yoko should just do his job. In fact, if they had done some investigation and then told us that, we investigated this witness statement, that witness statement, and at the end of it, we still didn't get an explanation, or she was able to explain, then all of us will know that they did their job. But until they do an investigation of their own, they should not make us think that the group responsible for investigating murder was supposed to give them the evidence for them to proceed. That doesn't work.
But do I equally get the impression that the OSP Act does not really give him the mandate to investigate issues bordering on money laundering?
That is actually it doesn't give them that act. It considers money laundering as an economic crime. Was pointed out. OSP was saying.
Can you hear me? Can you reposition for me? We're having a little bit of breaks in
Can you hear me better?
Yes,
now?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. So, yes, you are absolutely right. OSP is pointing out that, look, we've been handicapped because our law doesn't cover areas of money laundering, which would have allowed us. The only group in Ghana that has a law that covers this area is Yoko. In fact, Yoko's law is a good law because it puts the burden of proof on the individual. What it says is that if there's a disproportionate difference between the assets, properties, and monies of the person and their known income, and they can't explain it, the individual will be considered, shall be considered, it uses shall be considered as having committed a crime under our law. Very, very explicit, a very, very, very well-crafted sentence. The individual shall be considered as having committed a crime under our law, which means that the person is now responsible for explaining, not that the state has to find a reason before they take it to court. So if you took that case to court, the court will be reminded that the burden of proof is on the individual to show how they earn the money. Exactly. Once he has not been able to show it, the ruling will come. The challenge you have is so many other cases, they don't have that. In fact, that is why a lifestyle audit law would be good. Because in the U.S. and elsewhere, the burden of proof is put on that person who is fronting a lot of money, has properties. They will say, they can call you. If you cannot explain, they will confiscate the excess properties and money to the state. That law we don't have, and that's what they are also pointing out, that we really need that because it will help them. Their law is for them to deal with high-profile individuals.
Okay.
High-profile individuals have a lot of money, power, and influence. So every time they are finding ways to try and make it bad, try and frustrate their case, this one, for example, Ioko's law is clear. Unless somebody is trying to create a new, I don't know. And we already know that amongst the investigative bodies, when they are transferring cases, they don't go transferring it with reports. It always goes just with a docket. You can ask them. When Ioko sends a case to police, it is a docket with witness statements. If police sends to OSP, this is the standard across their industry.
They don't really go with the substantial evidence they've gathered.
They don't go with the report. They go with the evidence in terms of the witness statements. The evidence is the witness statement.
Okay.
But they don't go with a report because the report may be tainted with your biases. You understand? So what they want is the witnesses who spoke, the raw evidence. It's almost like if you went to 37, you had a medical condition. It became worse. And for some reason, they say, look, you have to transfer to Kolebu.
Yeah.
If you get to Kolebu will ask you to repeat most of the key tests that were done by 37. They want to cross-check. It could be equipment failure. They will start some of the key processes again to assure themselves of whatever file you bring from 37. Then they will proceed to then do their additional investigation to draw a conclusion. That's exactly what we are talking about. You receive some information from the other agency. First, you have a responsibility to validate it. Then beyond that, you do your additional investigation to draw a conclusion. The reason why the report by itself was not what you use is that those who crafted that report could infiltrate it with their biases and prejudices on the people they spoke to or on the issues. So the safest thing is to use the raw one, start, build on it, and draw your conclusion. That's what is expected across the industry. That is a professional way. Because if you pick the report, and the report, they are focusing on murder. They didn't focusing on anything to do with stealing. And then all of a sudden you want to use that report to inform what you should do. That's not how it works. And all of us know that's not how it works.
Very well. But have you gotten the chance to listen to Samit Dako, the director in charge of communication and strategy at the Office of the Special Prosecutor? Now, he seeks to create the impression that there are some level of state-sponsored attacks against what they do as an institution. Do we necessarily get that impression, duly?
Well, my response since yesterday has been that they should expect that, and it should not be an issue that should be highlighted too much. I mean, it's the terrain. Your terrain determines what will happen. And we all know that corruption fights back. Corruption fights back. So, yes, the people involved will find ways and means to try and feed back. It may not only be media. They may find other ways also to frustrate you. So, I don't think there's anything really surprising, shocking, or unique about the fact that these people will fund media or give money. If they have one or two friends in media, they'll call them and also tell them, no, this so and so and so and so. And that will not surprise at all. I think perhaps the OSP could have toned down that particular comment. For me, it is part of the terrain. They should be used to it. They can comment on it briefly, yes, but they should not be a surprising or shocking thing. That is corruption. People will try and find other comments, get people to influence your decision. They will do that because their livelihood is at stake. Their image and impression, so far they've been carrying themselves as well-to-do persons, so and so and so forth. And you're coming at them. They'll use some of those resources to try and hit back. There's nothing too surprising about that. I think the OSP should anticipate and just make sure that they are prepared for such situations.
But probably so they are equally speaking in that manner just to gain the public respect and sentiment, because, Ghanaians do not have the patience, and a lot of us feel and think that, the OSP's office has not really lived up to expectation on its mandate.
Well, yes, I know people have been saying that, but, this particular forum is a forum for heads of anti-corruption
agencies.
It was not supposed to be ordinarily an open session for Ghanaians or for the public. So there's a sense in which some of this information is more of how do we wrap our minds around this. If they had said this in the in the public space, then one would think that then your conclusion for me would have been valid. But as I assessed this particular platform, it was intended for the heads of anti-corruption institutions as like we are sharing our experiences. And he had talked about achievements, and this was just, I think, in the challenges section, that this is one of the things that we face. And then the likelihood is other heads of institutions in asking their questions or giving feedback would then say, look, this is what we do, or this is how you can deal with it, etc. So I don't think it was out of place for them to mention something like this. Maybe, don't forget, OSP is pioneering, and some of the people there, this is the first time you're going down the road. And maybe some things that ought not to surprise you sometimes surprise you. I feel that in spite of the difficulties that OSP has faced, they are trying to do the best under the circumstances. Honestly, I look a lot at the anti-corruption fight, and if the OSP had not initiated certain moves.
Yes, I was actually going to ask you for your personal assessment and then your personal view on the work done so far by the office of the OSP. Now, I mean, you have followed this for a very long time, and so you will be in a better position to tell us if they are really, doing the work Ghanaians expect them to do.
In my honest opinion, I think so. I think that there are spaces where we haven't thought through processes well. And we need to do better. Let me give you an example. Yesterday, the Director General of the Anti-Corruption Commission in Zambia talked about how they have a law on the judicial side that says that no corruption case should go beyond 5 months.
Okay.
And I told myself, that's what we've been talking about. A fast-track anti-corruption court where nothing proceeds more than 6 months. And you train the judges, the prosecutors, the investigators, in how they work together to get speedy results. That way, every 6 months, you have cases finished, you have people who have been penalized, they are out there in the public. It will serve as a good precedent. So I think about it and tell myself, look, we think we have our systems working. But I made that comment to Dr. yesterday that, seriously, our mechanisms don't seem to be effective in the large countries. The data that provided, the small countries, Botswana, Seychelles, and the Caribbean countries, especially those 2 million to 3 million, not more than that, they seem to be doing very well. But the bigger countries, the data is not showing anything exciting. So somehow the mechanisms are working for the smaller countries, but the bigger ones not. The bigger ones, some of the innovative things are there. For example, that's a fast-track court system, which means that you have people trained for it. When you go there, it is not like the judge is a general judge and all cases. He doesn't understand the difficulties in the anti-corruption terrain, and he will raise this issue or raise that issue, and then they will allow the thing to go on. So there's a sense in which I think that our judicial system and its design for now, as far as anti-corruption is concerned, is not tailored to be as effective to deliver the kind of speedy anti-corruption justice that we actually need in this country. And I think the OSP would have benefited from a system like that.
Yes, but we've heard stories about the fact that Ghana actually has one of the best laws when it comes to our quest in fighting against corruption. It is only the fact that institutions have not really lived up to expectation, and then the lack of political will is really what is causing us. So not necessarily our statute per se, but how to implement. How the Attorney General will be able to have the courage to, prosecute people even within his own government and also outside his government in that effect. Now, if we are unable to do all of this, how do we then get the best laws, yet we cannot be able to, get the required result out of it?
So you've raised, and let me separate it into 2-3 issues. There's the issue of laws. It is true that to a large extent we have some of the very best laws across the continent. We have at the moment 2 or 3 major gaps. One of those major gaps is illicit enrichment or lifestyle audit law.
Okay.
Because if it were there, OSP would have used that in this case. the Sisadapa case, but it wasn't there. So that is a major gap. We don't have illicit emission. Most other jurisdictions have that. There's also the gap of the Code of Public Officers, Conduct of Public Officers Bill, something that is specific to putting together all the issues relating to public officers, which has been hanging, I think, at the presidency for quite some months now. That too we don't have. Outside that, we have a lot of good laws. But the laws must lead to people being taken to court. And we are saying that our court system at the moment is not designed for effective, efficient delivery on anti-corruption.
Okay.
Because our anti-corruption cases, if you track them over the years, they take forever, and most of the time we are not getting the result that we would expect. So the court systems need to be more efficient in terms of the speed, and we need to do more training between the prosecution and the judicial part of it to ensure that those two arms are in sync, so that the prosecutors know what the judges are expecting. The judges are giving feedback to improve the prosecution, so that cases that come before it, we are not wasting time, people running around, and we don't deliver a result that actually shows that we are fighting corruption.
Yes, but just to wrap up with you, I mean, at the starting point is the asset declaration law, where, I mean, people going into public offices are required by law to declare their assets. How well have we been able to utilize that aspect of our law?
Oh, that's one of the laws that is not fit for purpose. Even though we have that law, it's not fit for purpose. Even in Nigeria, they do a public declaration. You can go online and find people's names and their properties there. And you can punch holes. If you want to punch holes, you can go online, see it and punch holes. Here we say put an envelope, seal the envelope, and then you need a special permission to have the envelope opened up. I mean, it's absolutely not fit for purpose. And that's one of the things that if we were serious, the government of the day would have led the process to have it reviewed and corrected long time. And that is where our political class ought to know that, look, citizens are watching. That is a place where, together with media, we need to put this political season. We need to be demanding of the presidential and other candidates what you will be doing about assets. If you are coming into office in the next 8 to 9 months, what is your intention on asset declaration? Can you make a commitment now? That is the way to get a better fit-for-purpose law in that space.
Very well. Mr. Senenu, I'm highly grateful for your time this morning.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Mr. Edem Senenu, co-chair at the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, speaking to us on major issues, a border on the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and then Iyoko, entirely the confusion between the two institutions. Clearly, it is on the part of Iyoko to do their bit, because OSP there, Wayana Femu there area. 18 after 8. This is Kessben. We are live on 92.9 and on Kessben TV and pay sharing DSTV so channel 364, Go TV channel 121 and Yadasi Papa Pampa. Your number is 0550596 929 0550567 929. Or the messages at the bar. Your budget na ya can kind no ede amwa. You see ya now all of a sudden why you rasa. Oh, what did I?
Ya zaba.
Ba Kumasi boko.
Nyamya dumboko bia ho ye.
Kumasi e fire.
Na no juto ebe to no na ye de. Se bia black akire o.
Oh, okay. E just dey na na.
Hu se ye de.
Ya ntiwi amabi ntino.
Oh, kafra anyway, only wa hwere asem o.
Sao.
Next time you ba election ba wuram bi.
I see.
I see. Na no on say. Yen ni na mu nyina yade ya kakra.
Yeah.
Nti ye politics kakra, ni ato aduro kakra. Na ni nyina no ya adisua.
Yeah.
Ya na ya ba ni say kanisa. Obi say ada na ya mebo edo no din miensa. Na me busa say yesi busuma ni me kwani mprensa. Na obi so iche obi ade no ma ni miensa o so odo ayensa.
Yeah.
Nti me mo hunu say edo no say wonya binum ko yemu a.
Yeah.
Nya me tu minti o ya de na tu betwa.
That's right.
Very simple.
That's right.
Into the Bowra draws to be a wooden. And I mean, be din my job in 10 years. Anne, we me born din and my job. And then Yamiadum last week, Muhomeko Krubiso.
Yeah.
Koye MCBO program be a for. Na maybe a me called draws to be a container. Maybe na canisa si ho. It's in Busan say, Massa, dear Tony, you know, so ya almost creful Kumasi neighbor. So, me said that Busan say, no, no, yeah, don't know so diabetes. Nti me man dam hu adi me musa no he na ye me de nti ama ye me de ne se unse kro kitwa
yeah na wakoso akohu
na me expect say sa ho de
yeah
because sabi kura nka yenim say bibidro de kura se de obaka ne say wo mo nom because ye ya shedudu ni ade but when hunu say no enipa bi wo sa dro kanisa ni mu nti me ko fa bi afiri kumasia ba abesi me container yimo container oton do no ya manfo so nyame adom omoto na omonom a ebo awom ti ya na eyema ho nti na ya na mani gi na me kasa obi si bra no kasa o nyesa me kasa ba me kire ne pa ewo abibidurum na ebi ni kanisa nti na me ya me kasa ma a kire wo na wato bi na onom so ahun say ade nbe sa o ade very simple nti ma sam nyina no na mama no aye din nti me koma sam so
Over me, now we say, I am
me call Pakistan, the mammy, Madam Pakistan be. And now, or do we, or a soldier for no mushe. Pakistan for soldier for no mushe away.
Come on,
sound, and many my huntiana, a woman, must say, now, as a man, sound of Yano. Medasi, or body show. Bra, and Kanisa Heba Center, that your boss say, and the pair way I say, or ever mobi, one no, that's all your na me category to two only two two no de ahi yade no pain yaw na na de yaw ne ba enti ya na me de me ka say ukobroni hospital and say orthodox medicine it treat symptoms no de kofa sa symptoms ne ba ye no ene it treat enti ya yes enti ya na manfo susu say nka wonum ya no ese ne yade ani jai me pacho eno no sa na nadwe ye no nka osusu se wonum aduro na pa yi a nka nimire na ne ho ato no bare ye de ne ntisa eto no bo asa ye ho adwuma nti pain ni beko na ya na me cha kire mu se oba wayasi eya wo ya na akwa fikire wayasi ye wo ya ne borofo se obeka se ye pain usisi ye wo ya ye pain sasa bro mo nkotojo mu wi wa ye pain afei wo ye bema na obema yi ehin ayeketwa ensuo firi mu ba na woni oba di ehia na ate yawo a pain afi wo yo oba nso ensuo fufo bi gu na ensuo ne yi te sa akatoa ne neoma ahodo bi a eno so beka se pain woni wura di ehia mi wura mfa ho mi wura nya abotre position ni nye nkaba me na yie de bia wo dan wo ha boy wo dan wo chi a o se ye wo ya nti ba bia eye wo ye de a pain na abeka but the di pain ni ba ye no ena ma me kire wo se ayade no ye mienu pe just two nti pain no firi ho a na di pain ni ba ye infections sebe nemu sa ayade a nka ho nti nka kire me se wo yale a wo nom kanisa na beko dabi ba me ma ne pa wo sa ade ni mu na obi a wo yo oba ye mfa ne se ensuo gu ahemfie ho ntwa yie na ya na ayi sa akatoa ese turkan se nkuruma enema bi nkoye nti pampan bi e wo no kra wo asoba no ompe na wo a wo ho asoba no ompa ba ma no no do kodi ahia na obepe dabi emfa ne se wanyu oba bi a nka wo ye wadwun so obewa no na no ho fe ekire anim mfimfini ni hwan ususu se ahomeka nka wo choice na ba ade ni kofie no ensuo fufuo bi enema bra ho chi bi a hu ni pampan bi a hu ye egu sabe bedsheet so wasi but utumu se pampan ni da girem anampo se wansi wira fi ebia wo ja hokwa adwuma oba na ase de ni new senti bia bavie ho na unti ase yi e kira ba fere no o si awale ne agu enti wo wadwen kire se obi na eye wo obi na wo ye wo no na ama wunya awade bete yade haw ni nyina ne se obanya babasoa obanya white obanya odiepia na onya na musa yade a dodo na afele ya na ofele se obaka se kwaku ya mekon hoi na anu se ohunu se bibi se ya na wakoto bibi bia ye de hohoro bibi bia ye de hihye eno amuaw ade ne wo mu we wo nnum akɔ kanisa no wo nnum akɔ mu a ato no boase eyi nsuo oba bi ka kyerɛ me sɛ ɔtɔ aduro no bi no within that week no nsuo fufu ho wɔ no kra nko ye gya no nam so de kɔso no afi ɔno a de ne ho afi ɔse ayesei me wo TV so de me ka ne sei amanfo be hu wa already no so wo de tie e maka kyerɛ akiri nti fa no mese no ne ni nkomo 0247 88 74 36 0247 88 74 36 and I say 0202 99 09 43 0202 99 09 43 we ni enormous ya ofra ba bia yeto bibiduro wo de busase opa kanisa said de mekwa akura so kra mkonya bi wa wo krom de nese wanyi bi dada nti nka nkyerem se wo call store ho no wanyi bi anto bo wura ho na banya bi enti saa oba no a meka se ensu agu ni saa nyoma na wo wadwenya wo se beyifo bi wona na bi a wanya 90 year odwene se beyi obewuo no wo so ono na aye nya ono a e how na aba enti wonya wale a check se ade ya menamu ensu ye egumi pampan bi efirimase ho mekwa afikyira ma yase ye meya na mintimi nwu yie na moja yi ba ase bibi basa bi firi mu bai how ne se mento kanisa nom ne ntumi yade asema me hontom very simple and into we ni sa bayie ni hwan a wo boso moyi wa ya ye ono kwan sa de nyina be firi so kanisa nom ne be yi wo hawase ba me bia de bia na meka mema asemo a ba ma se yankopon ya adom ukọ club na unya no ukọ ayefro na unya no unya na so ndam o eduru fie sabi na anajo ya tupunu mu dia eho nya so ndam asem na nya club asem adwuma na sese wo ye se adwuma no wo gina ma nyina na mu na wo ba amaye enu nti na se wa moni ya so wo unya be ma na ode ne ko se dem wo no na nim so oyo ba da bi onim se be ma na ode ne ko ya sabi omukodi mpem agro saade na nko yie pe o se wo unya be ma da bi de me kire woni se to aduro eye kanisa eye infections enti na ma obo petre yo ena ma obo 2 seconds ena ma kakra na wagya mu ena ma wade ehi ena ma wade ni twikom afei utimu se na hoodin a na ewo mu a nka de pim a ekọ akire mu hu se yes ade ya kama wode ano ntinya abotre twiko animu ebi de yese de hankra bi asa no a okọ mane kodu ba bibi wo de kura ni nyina kura ko wurum kura inu ba bia kafra hawo ya de no a hawo amma baba so na do kruwo ena ma odwunso a eba ntentem no ena ma odwunso age wo kyem kakra ena ma efei wa utumu se ya na usisi ya wo ya ebi kura eja na hohene otini hu se ya se nkoko dwe ne nam no ho afi kura de pimples bi wato nku a wo wiase nya de asra wato cream ahodo enso enko afi wo se ni sem na odidwale na enye ni nso odidwale nye osesem afi wo se wonu anso hye de dwale wa ye nyoma ahodo nyina de bia so otini hu mifre kakaba no otini hu afi wo tina ham otini ba bibi pimples bi ba wo se razor bomb o mi yi maboje ne ba ye o mi yi mi hu ne ba ye enso wa ya enko ena me ka kire wo se uto kanisa no a uto kanisa na wonom a eno ena beboa o ma neoma ahodo ya ye ka ho asem etimi aboa na yade ya ye bubo so se enemu nsan yade yi de ebeyi pain no afiro so ama ho ato bo wura drugstore membre no ya ye brenti se de o hwe manim timi hu me so so no mako na ya na de ya se ye kan yade ho asem obi so na ene de duro na doso ba ya na mibusa o se adenti na me se kotomi die die ntia me se tomi die ni se eye nubna eye habamba eye nuaba ya na masamu example se ye tie kro kituam kro nketuamu ye tie kurase no ye aduane na ye nana no hu se eye saade se bi wodwan aponchi ni sa bronya so a ya no mo de kokomesa ne kakaduro no hwentia wedi aba ne ade ni ye twi ne de garlic ka ho ne de egu sa aduane so ubusa se ye tesi nkwantra na dabi eye nioma ho de ese nane saade afiri nipadiem na aboa ma wanya aduane na wudie no nsusuanso pepa eno ne yahwe so se adenti ne yenya bie yenya nubra ne habama yenkeke sa nuaba yi mbom na be ma wonum a aboa oba wonum a eyi haw no afiri so ama ho ato fra no machine en so 0247 88 74 36 0247 88 74 36 and I say 0202 99 09 43 0202 99 09 43 we ni no machine ahodo a ba bia wo nkran wo kumase wo tamale wo kintampo ba bia yeto aduru pacho bowura ho busa se opekanisa
wansa na mene oracle fred siaba enkonkodi enkombo emra enfrikodeo na adope ye misa say so far so good and dra from day one eba besi adope no easy registration no womo monitoring na womo ye over 100 personnel ana womo ati omo aguma womo so make observation no Mr. Siam Atimika, good morning and pombo ko there
Medase Mr. Speaker nyame adom me ho ye pa.
Very well. Minim some more personnel as Codeo election observers are one more say I mean processes for seeing no ebetimi awie pay. A here find a more target na mon personnel no so here find a modi omo akọ.
Your personnel no say I spread them across 146 districts. Your way move 84 or more randomly selected district offices of the Electoral Commission. And 86 no Maka no follow the EC movement plan. And the almost movie to about 256 different registration centers in hard to reach areas out of the 775 Electoral Commission registration level.
Very well. Report Mwanya after day one no and it's saying processes no is it really going smoothly with the district offices are easy area registration no way.
Say generally no say we share reporter observers no SND and rana anybody be equally I think by 10 a.m. no say the Kodu observe no na registration center the mobile say 84% na omwebi na momo no say dodo na no ibu ha no mabie ibu ho a delay kakra na omokwa na omabie no ye wododo na omunya challenges with a network and na say activation code that so muhia ansa na omotimi start registration no
okay
and na say baby kakra bi won so na more power issues omu need power to even power their system the BVR kit no na omoya registration no enti we ni niam say osha say a torch ma a first day of the registration until baby ha said the Osha Electoral Commission is communicate here no yen so observers no e catch as a registration no to start around 11 so do na ba on board around 11 so from 9 11 and then 1 your baby kakra bi o ha say omo problems no na doso if mo almost start even at 4 and that's at 3 and when the challenges are Osha first day no omo FAC again no so Osha Electoral Commission ehihye mu a na esesenka okọ registration centers na omo directional signs ewo ho say okay we do say ha na registration no reporter yinya no enwia no na say about 49% of the registration centers na Kodu observers and one now more observer no na these directional signs no a bit more it's about the issue of visibility and there were 12% of the registration centers are observers no indicate yes accessible into we say first day of the registration no feedback across the country no na yegusu ayehwemoni even feedback from anyone yegusu analyze
yes but monso no munya feedback na I mean do you present same issues to the Electoral Commission and if you do what has been some of the responses
said the maker no day one yegusu ye puti enema together
okay
and yes wakwanya bibio ho a ye Electoral Commission for edidi nkomo. And when some of the incidents are very critical, yet may reach out to the Electoral Commission, but Osha and Yamaya who Stinta was a abba a Fedina So we share NRA Electoral Commission ankasa almost statement no release here na eche ese omo nso omo hu yes into na e course so NRA registration mu nti ya gidi say ya start day 2 no we have learned a lot of lessons you be incorporate into the way you implemented this registration no na aboa ama ifi na ekono enemere nyina to na kwan mu na obia esese wonya kwanya so obetwe ne din na watu aba no sa kwanya na amo no.
Yes, but isi mayati here I mean a pre-registration conference one more year, which is press conference one more year, and it's almost all the district offices there will be a standby generator a bit me a power kits no in terms of outages be a baby I don't know Kobanisa na
Mr. Speaker say power issues no nyano baby ebia na maintie commission no almost statement no but na district offices on say mo nso adwuma registration centers in hard to reach areas. Na hard to reach areas no are very complicated. Say one fa and I mean say commission no say all the people who were moving to these hard to reach areas no generators to move because who could do mu na who could do na who say enkane ni ho also machines na ode adwuma no body power na ne dey na obeye nti wo hwe Swaman Fanoma registration center Iowa Swaman Western North.
Okay.
Almost face this issue NRA. Almost started almost to abandon say sorry almost your registration no na about best 4 p.m. Ni na power issues. Nti MC be a commission na intention no say ombeboa ama bibia akoso say dem communication bet. Ye hu na NRA ne de. Dem say yes into kakra apem. We ye niam ye gidi say commission no e be take note. Na omo resolve issues say that be am koso emfa how emren kofo a omo prepared eto mo be show mo din no matwa no.
Yes, but the other thing that is very important the activation code and Radopa we had Ma DJ Brola na wono air complaint is in some areas EC officials no claim say womonsan activation code, but this is also to help say a bit me aboa print out the start of the report na a bit me ama all the stakeholders registration center hono aye clear in their minds say kids no I mean she so empty no at the start of capturing of data no obia clear in his mind when some of these things happens I mean in areas more personal no you know I mean did you experience same challenges
no correct say NRA incident Sasanima we see the delays will be na it may affect registration your friend a critical incident and the observers na your training no file a critical incident at the back or due your database you set here for this registration exercise and I no question NRA your baby or yenya problems with this activation code so when municipal
okay
a year RC primary school Nanaduku yenya issue about activation code na officers no air train say omubenya ansa na omachimi aye registration no yewo baby it is Nkrankwanta behind Doma West Assembly new building and also issues about the activation code and logging in and also a issue amwa mentimi and started a year registration no embranes almost started kakra MC activation even in Kwanza South Municipal almost so if we see a year issues with the activation code.
Okay.
I think said the commission no intention no say guard this activation code very carefully. So that by uncle for engineer abuse in time I will be a Juman said the kind no na when saka activation code na wunya which me so at the Juma over the period. Na the NRA no say na and also be na ebia na bro almoso say request na neighbor no. Bibisa say commission no me sure say omo enyina yesua de.
Yes, but and only a code as so munyana no pebia, right?
a code that Mintias, you know, say your mouth first that Ubitima use. But the first day now, Ube started a year registration.
Okay.
That's when your activation code that a bit in a boama system, waiting your starting.
Very well. Zasiama, and open my main now was maybe any of us anywhere didn't come. Why? Okay, and our girlfriend Siama and Ameneno at the Encomono from a year collation of domestic election observers. Kodeo, one more personal over 146 of them, one more to Omogum across the various districts. Woman so observed the registration processes no echo. Madi Jibril, deputy director in charge of election for the NDC. Madi, good morning, at saying.
So, the speaker.
Okay, and day one report, and to more as a party, saying it's a call, yeah.
Medical manager with you about no pay. Next, Indra at the program, and be profile a manager in Yaman Indra. I did see Indra if officer no way you must electoral commission. Now can do a fair exercise as registration. Now, I can say nanka any issue, but electoral commission will handle registration. We can one. This is the fourth one amoye over my Ghana. Now issues no see no. I see that in 2023. I see that I'm a step size. In the other keep you move I know there. Mega say draw exercise in there. It's unfortunate and it's very bad.
I see. But I mean, some of their concerns earlier in the morning, Urizi, I believe, sir, it was resolved in some of the areas. Our boss or Kankwe North. You mentioned Salaga, if my memory serves me right. At the end of the day, no sir, areas in our registration to make also.
Mr. Speaker, I just say Electoral Commission, Eddie, Command Ghana district, and draw Eddie, the piloting to train their officers. They didn't come yesterday to work.
Oh, how do you say that and conclude like that?
Okay. Offer activation code. And idea also officer be here before 7 o'clock. So the question is, why will they keep it up to almost 12 o'clock?
Yes, but one kasa na yes, sir. At the beginning of the session, no challenges by. But the question I made me Bisan is even though at the beginning no challenges by, but I mean they were able to start the registration exercise in those areas.
The challenge is avoidable. The challenge is avoidable. In any serious registration, somebody must be punished. Was be punished yesterday. It's avoidable. Let me tell
you agree, sir? Your machines normally Juma, and this is technology. Anything can happen at any time.
Put the code NLD movie. Code NLD movie. So why did it divide? What your many from the Kodio or say? Which is and someone said we are trying to protect the access code. Code near the manual. You open the machine and then now set new code IODS. So what are you protecting? And then if I know what the code, over issue machine for 21 days. And then how do you feel? It's a bigger.
Meteor, Maddy, Meteor.
One of these, yeah, I say, struggler, almost 5 hours in the exercise. I didn't go.
I see. And for you, the NDC there, and you see you know, when you're satisfied,
it is avoidable incidents NSCA, and that is why they can come out. Like I said, they say they are corrected. This thing could have been done a day before. Such as a day before.
Very well, but how is the day looking for you? I mean, day 2. I shall say that.
On a prayer start here, I can mention, say, on Cantamas say, they are not, the ominous started say, register because there are network issues.
Pon Catamanso. And no one report I will receive it so far.
The same, the problem also in that area. So we are picking all this data. This is how it starts. This is how it starts before you get all the information. Because at the perimeter, not costing us, but as we're speaking to you, there are about 5 constituencies that mean this is the minimum say they are not working. In fact, in border region, there's an area minimum say doom so affecting Juma.
And no area there.
I'm say Ketu North thereabouts, yes.
Ketu North district, you know.
Yes. And we pick up on Ayanya. Visit tonight, but how to reach area the night in you. And only say electoral commission at the bottom will provide generators, officers, you know.
Yes, exactly.
So it will. Are you going to call this one as an error, as a mistake we can correct?
I hope said the Momonsa Canning no. I mean, mobile collating together, not more the ama easy, right?
On the day, by 12 p.m. in across the country, they are submitted by electoral commission.
Yes, and they gave you responses.
And I want my response. I want my response, but they came to public to speak as if I'm going to move here. They couldn't acknowledge what even we did to them, for them.
Very well. My answer they were and then so beko. I don't pay my hours.
In that year, as we said, because of Omankasa, they are autopilot in it. And by about any because I say away.
Maddy, that's I don't pay. Why? Okay. Thank you. Maddy Jebro, your deputy director in charge of elections for the NDC. Mr. William Yambua, director in charge of administration and finance for the New Patriotic Party. Mr. Yambua, good morning and pom to say.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. As you say,
Eradiadom, Mehoya, na one so eh? Okay. Andra, at the end of day one, no, the exercise, I mean, how did it go for you and then your party entirely?
Mr. Speaker, next year what here for, I would say, on the same platform. Now, my colleague from the other side, my situational report. Certain areas are non-network issues. Me as a partner in this whole exercise as a party, we are very happy, sir. Easy upon receipt of such feedback, the engagement and the communication, swift. Now informing the general public said, indeed, now admit it, indeed, omunya issues or certain areas. They encourage you almost say on the course or more engagement and the communication with the public, I am very superb. And the assurance is there, almost to me, restore all these issues and as the network-related problems. Ozano panel, and you draw union attention, say, technical issues. Be our managing project to be and as a background of study, related to project management to be say a project of such kind. Unexpected and unforeseen circumstances, it may happen. Issues of technical deficiencies, it may back. Efficiency of machine can never be 100% at all times. That notwithstanding, we are not saying say easy improving the kind of saying the technical capacity and capabilities.
Okay.
Anything be a bit affected, never compromising the process. Now, you the projected figure now, or use for Nakasa Ediabano. Yes, almost say, or more now, you see, no point. And now, certain areas, baby, you say per the EC projections, anchor a day. So, Mutimi register around 250, register 82. And then we multiply this average 82, by 21 days now. Let's just say, register around 1,700 and something. And this is the constituency. Per the UC projection, projection, we are expecting say something around 4,000 to 5,000 kind of registrants. Your best level. I say on the also I collaborate with that. I say when I get my feedback swiftly, now almost intervening. The same idea or can Kasa so and all that. Like in the position, any position I just say, one Kasa will ill feelings to be any some bad fit to be in the whole process. We are one partner, now cooperative with the state institutions.
Yes, he is raising the question, sir. Easy, I make a promise, one will be provided standby generators at all their district offices. And if sir promise no abba na obeko baby no because of power outage and woman to me and Juma, he is now questioning the ability of the EC to make those promises. I mean, so what the one can they presumably as I said standby generator no AC so that in a situation like that, they can always fall on that.
Okay, and then let's just say yes, I promise, and like I said, you see M1 and homeworking, not logistics, and in Yamabia, somebody 12 more, a Bema process, and I smooth piano, all her say, and Mr. Speaker, for propaganda seeking, may team or platform, they will access and so say, such kind of feedback, you follow us. Now you who say indeed the account, verified, validated, and active, because this is a period that amount for 80 born Muslim, no more can be, and try to suggest say, and Yama and Koye, Name Koye, and I say, Obi, the same may inform me or say, and no, Anna Joe, young Kwatia, a certain constituency, amount for fee, or more also, and now my bedroom will on my transportation, issue Mawam. If you want to distance, it's almost me and Ru almost. Ama, Mr. Speaker, Obedia say, Mintimen Wasi and I did the Sumuno, they are from food, the Dino, or more Aqua Cotuasian for so. Let's say, you see one of modern, the Nipa or mobile center hormono as much as possible. No, on Beshe na Omatia attended to Obia. Now you go back to the destination peacefully and safely. The MFR can be and say the best way all parties involved say you cooperate so once again with the issue. So you better process maybe smooth because maybe with screens in certain areas we want the queue is very long. The question and they say time ben na nipa originally no e be do no so ene na yet me attended to on process no, but the process is very smooth. Now when you be a new hormone so a bit me aboa ama you can say more attended to these people no at me and almost 10 on type now almost omuyuma. So this is one of the core the places at the doorstep of people and all the partners and not stakeholders involved. I'm a party, part of it. Now, other parties and so.
Very well. I'm going to pay me that.
Amen.
William Yamwa, Director in charge of Administration and Finance for the New Patriotic Party, and Yanine Din Common 55 after 8. I took Kwame Appiah. Good morning, that's saying.
How do you know me?
Eradiado me hoye. And my update and draw at the end of day one. Kumase and any areas in the baby I will born to a coy in send a coy no pain so send a efras here.
Yo, I would do that. Me that's send a distributor and a panel for day one. Union moment finish here. Do okay. Now, Babachu with the Nomania voter ID card number 2 up to about 2024 election. And what I really say, and a panel you think Moka if it be no tree aircono. Now, it implies was in the Namodos Kakra. Obia Edilan so corner opportunity. Now, what you we are, make us think a machine, all the safety machines, so not machine also available. We are now, I just say, Omocha, and we are painting a ID card number, the amount, and no, a 50 pen or tree at the Benino network, no, and 29 years like Juma. Into a Bobe to Munina, and Nipa, Evabatumidino, not Obiati to Wa, Onya Pampona. Opportunity in Namasuma, a boy, a 50 pair, a Bobe to one with a machine, I shall say Nipano, El Coma, and I pay so, your Baba say, saying na hatie eno machine yes and network ne quiet ano etumi e ma kwa mani pare do na nkata atwuro mu edin ana say ni pare do na entumi antwuro mu din na ye bae no eye manhia south no enipa atwuro mu din eno no 81 manhia south enipa atwuro mu din no 81
e manhia south
manhia south nti enipa na wa ase no so edo so pa nti omu nyina sa kofie nti manhia north so enipa atwomudin 36 manhia north enipa atwomudin 36
36 for the whole day if it anapa no edekosi eye anwumra no nsia eboye no enipa atwomudin 36 ene manhia north ena medokọ bantima enso a enipa atwomudin bantima 69 bantima 69 atwomudin fiti eye anapa akopum anwumra nhia so eye 45 nhia so eye 45 ena ye subin so eye 43 subin eye 43 ena enwa mutumi atwomudin sina na pai ye ba ene de ene so enipa eye wa ha pa a enye asem kotoa enipa ye wo me ye manhia south no edo so pa mo tiase a omo so tworo eye omudin na ene mbeda network sina enwa network no eye tano tana na pai eye ya na ntia manya chete entisa enti registration igusu a ekoso eye smooth ye say betumi anya aye amanyoku ni bi na ye no mo edi nkomo afa enra atoboy no tew why na ye nko
esi ya enti enam so a eni padodo no entumi antwom din bimia no mo akwaba edo ba Kessben affiliate so
meje oso
enra ye she enra turn out registration course wa manhia south enipa 81 oye MPLC dia na wo kan fasa issue
so the metumi aka ni na se enura no say turn out no na tama nipa ho ha no tam no so na machine no ebrikie enti ama nipa bibiri o mu kufi o mu ntime enchiro o mudin na wo hwe so a ene yes sebe 8 o'clock but enura 8 o'clock up to 2 o'clock na nipa wa nso ye ntime enchiro o mudin enam afidia esai ye no but ene dia no pay wo hwa atmosphere no de nipa wa ena lie kra wa bibia ekoso obi atimi register senior osika no kre enura ya ema kwa 20 ena ema bema 21 ewo manhia 41 ena ye kika ono manhia no oponso ya 40 enti ene de ma hu say ya meboa by the close of the day no nipa no ye betima register nipa no video
enti eye eni semanyoku ba kuna meneno atweko bodina
within the Alhaji Mustafa Manhia South organizer
enti enwa sene na wo ye Alhaji say ama ye eni MPP for ewo sekenti wo twe enipa ede omo eba no ene so sana hu na
tell radio ya wa nipa MPP de omo ba on firi kwabiri is na omo de ba omo firi Manhia South sene me de kan na esa better energy afi na ye show omo ye yun so onti Manhia South enti na yo a ebe challenge junior kro enti yo anu wa ye wa se bibia pepe ye be ejuma but obi enfiri Manhia South o firi be bia oba na ya challenge nu nipa bi so anu ma ye bia o mu duru 18 years a ye sha o duru 18 years na ya challenge u ye be fili for mama o bet ye fan show ntem ma wonko this committee na atena na ya hwe adienti e ma o ba be tro udi nu duru 18 years.
Very well. Ato mame na wase na memfa wonsi ha mame nkom reko ho meko to menka good morning that is saying yes enti boy enkomo awutu senya ene ne mpatabu nyina no update ne saying
update is so far so good awutu senya east eye ka so ade enra challenges bi enu a almost that FAC here
okay
omutimi register nipa best 170 eye enra no ama bibia ekoso basa bia ansi ho na awutu senya west na no pa no yede beto wadim se anasa chief wadim se oba ha mentima ase kakra bi na si between NDC and MPP atu anipa ahia mo de bewura mu na de wi ase no na anti asa ya adwuma ama obia de nipa bewura mu bia 10 uwi a no bi so de 10 nembo ha no de omo intimate register nipa dodo asa tenra de ni kwa wi na nipa be se 90 pe ada no matimi a register mu nta no pai ma probo no asa ba bipi mu o ka so a maba gumwa is de omo do so pa na so pressure ni ho minim se enkrofo no ebia 21 days no mo hwe ni mu ebia ye twa 10 days e ko na ansa no beba o se senyo e ho de pressure bia ni ho na pressure no eda ka so aye wutu senya east and west so but so far so good here bibia da ne kwam anope minia
very well Mreku made us anope thank you so much that means you're on the side wedding come on Mreku nyampon ana yedena din come your reporter just giving you an update of a year the air coso with the registration exercise and across the country electoral commission ego so one more air capture new registrants just to get it onto the voters register 2 after 9 air Kessben mame emma a year 22 better for action na mema one more akwaba good morning mo to say
that's because we are fine now so
I don't be fine
oh na me ado bibia akoso pa
I say yeah
all called
moko se mo anu ma baba
yeah the good news now ba
what the good news now
I
see mami tell you feel bad
okay so sisi ano ya registration is very simple ama obia nti obi on register bia sisi amana is simple and one say ukita number na ye ready nkwa dia eno ano no o de number ni shema o de password a shema
o
telephone number eno ano no we wie uni email ana bibia asem bia aye simple one page per na wa register tamana is simple na enumere we Champions League na no and also ye the good news about asempa ye the aba
okay
ye the insurance cover pata sa match no until we hear depositor na we choose risk free bet
okay
until risk free bet no say ulu sukra 22 bet say amount na we try bet no yes sound so the amount as free bet
okay
now we won't pay we now pay then ati in the advance who person when you deposit 200 cedis
okay now we track
until we the deposit I know we choose 100% risk free bet no until benya normal 200 cedis no in fact we dey try Madrid straight win na hurricane as a party na ma no problem you see e be some 200 cedis as free bet I wait me dey redeem you
I just more can be
and
will be there yes me friend redemption bonus the amount for redeem
I see but games be na
and top game near UCA game Madrid versus Bayern Munich
okay
and a highlight of the day will be almost the whole world will be and also almost say media me coolanti Los Blanco from the Munisa by so we need ya the nyamiase so we winning so say they omo be twi form no and this month so you person my chief on so to say you nyama be bride bro mo pa ye nyi ni ma sisi ye person group mu nya into one said omo friend no may the workers month ye friend investors month yes investors month ye ni both corporate and informal let's say formal and informal sector and age month and the omayama and so on your my de be mom small promotions ba into mo hwe social media
for this month
this month on be feel keke
I see
o man feel crass say din o me feel keke eni num de o me feel pa anene so your circle
okay mo ba circle and okay
ene activation circle de din imagine me just say dey na eni bra be mu pa
in fa na mo
and drive ba tiptoe lane ene be room call stations ni other you call authorized each one mu no you see you rural circle baby but ene ntimi mbonu because of ban on noise it's a respected tradition very well. So for us, we are part of Ghana. We need to respect every tradition. But they will see us in our 22 beds and our caps, and we register our 22 CD PR.
Very well. My member over so other games maybe that will side a year match and we share anymore. No, I mean, say obiti and or call more platform no as well. What are the processes?
Okay, inti ye de as de bia meka no ye catalog na edoso se football kwa na wo se weni nji ho a NBA ye ball playoff emu den
okay
so emu de nti no so tumi to fa ho eno ane se wo accounting kwa de a wo kwa platform so very user friendly nti wo mbre kwa simple kwa na wo de egu echire na emu aye de down
ana mo bibi can be for so yeah, more 25% deposit bonus free for the all NBA playoff games.
I see. Now, Aviator for them.
Yeah, I walk around there, no. I walk around there, no. Two mammy to sa, I want to two mammy to sa pilots, and I want to go for you, plane to know. Ain't it be a two planes if you come out?
Young Kwame betting platform. O register we near be ma bonus yes choose bonus okay open sports bonus how the twa Champions League in basketball na so say open casino bonus how be to me the twa aviator na there so o jun say we pilot papa now they go aviator chi nti here there
other say after the who deposit for casino bonus every Friday casino 50% deposit bonus. Second deposit to get your name team.
But more platform no and to na processes no a quite obey me first so platform no so because more fiscal shops yes, right yeah. Online and I'll be connect what place obet no and it say obi tie or share or per se one more a play on na afi what me enya the benefit am abo so ni na na e dey na nipa ni nye.
Okay, nti your website near www.22bet.com.gh. Yes, also app store any Play Store. Nti ubetimi enya eno so open crowd they call
social media platforms.
Google I know about 22bet. First one ebeba na just choose eno emu yes simple cra emu yes simple.
More numbers be am dey to jana.
Yeah. Oko your website no so your live chat ho utumi e chat here ho. Yes also your number no so call contact us and also your numbers ho your WhatsApp numbers ne baby abetumi so afre ho. Uba your social media platforms ni na Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, u chat here or DM or so still ebe
24/7 yes render on what the yemu new crowd they be able test you be
very responding
yeah customer support no any robot any AI
very well but we na was and you better was na circle so pacho one more I was circle and wow be come across them I was circle no na afem what we need more heading come I don't pay me that was
yes
I'm sure that's what I'm faster than be ma a mass contested Ghana Limited. I don't pay, but you one more daroba, one more boy pa. Na a mass con for daroba, but you one more sassy and time. Edda a year chopoli and cry. It is a one pass as yet to now won't pay the amount so chair won't be there. I don't pay as a mass contested Ghana Limited for a day and so one plot to be a 30,000 Ghana cedis. I pay half plot. 15,000. I don't pay so what to 2 and more now. We need a deal come on and I will fire numbers no FIA. Ya beshe ni ya mo asase papa ni bi. Pacho se wo tie me na wo pese wo si asori dan wo si hospital. Wo si filling station, school, event center, warehouse and a shopping mall na wo pese wo bie. Pacho wo pasase e betimi aboa wo ma wo project. Etimi awie pay dia and pay. As I said when a Mascon Estate Ghana Limited for din komo na one bejo so pa. E yo mo pene mo wakonya se but you see cano ubedi care to your fans now they are to us ya fe ye betwa asase ne dia ma project a wo pese wo ye no meet be a frase na fe ya ma bosumi nsia na wato obo ase etuetua de aka ni nyina no nkakranka na wo mo aye ne se bia no wo mo wia wo mo be chow 20 bags of cement free of charge. Now one more day, 200 pieces of blocks so at their pay so at their amount. And pay won't pay when I open ye. Bringing on a Mascon Estate Ghana Limited. One more other room. And pay one more chap. That was a Spinters Road, no so community 18 junction. One more directly opposite Allied filling station. One more KFC. Now and pay when you want more any income more. The winger road no so near Pacho 10 minutes drive away from a Central University and I think 5 minutes drive away from Seglemi Affordable Housing Project. You know, I don't pay to me anyone more income. One bed just see Pacho will pass as a papa. So Chibia the Hondangas, Sembia, the Hondia, and the Sessa Woba. Now, what turning in on a show idea free of charge. Your satisfaction is our priority. I don't pay for a Mascon for on 0553-840-646. 0553-840-646. And now for 0209-155-437. 0209-155-437. Now, when a Mascon for any and come on and pay, but your one by Joseph.
Kessben 92.9 Asidankwa.
Na St. Louisa local rice and open min control some pacho. Se wunyanto bia and open ma honyen tempa. Na won so je won St. Louisa local rice dia. Ye Ghana mo ya to boas ya ye e wo my Ghana mo. Pacho nutrient ahodo a wo hia na aboa wa pomodin nyina no e wo mo ye natural, purely natural. Fa hwe mfa frem eno ntia no pay open local rice anu nso ye papa ono a eto ne bo ase eyi mako e ma pa ni titru odi aye anwamo no oh jai anu pay pacho e wodwa mai so eno ntia se wutie mi a esese woni St. Louisa local rice for edi nkobo na wo mo beje so se wo pese wutu mu ni bi eton ne dodo mu nso anu pay woni St. Louisa for eni nkomo na ebo ne da fom pa enti as distributor no pacho won beboa ma nso watimi a show business no ase anu pay for ani chemo ewo eye lapa wo mo ewo adjacent the Eco Bank please container no enchen hwa pe na woni eye St. Louisa for eni enkomo and also say from number 027745 2742 na wone aya St. Louisa for any one free 0546 242343 0546 242343 na wone St. Louisa for any komo anopay acho wombe jo so abwa wuye pa
Kessben 92.9 Asidankwa.
I don't pay me that was here, Papa. It's answer me that was said na me that Fidico portrait animal feed center for us was I don't pay one more roba, but your one more crooked musa. Na Fidico dear, one more roba, one more dinner no papa. I would the mass when you want to patch a boy one more comodim one ye. I don't pay so good to me and I will share me. We are Ghana Queen, one yam cocoa and preco na one yay, and I also say fish and away. I don't pay Pacho, Fidico portrait animal feed center for that romantic. One would not in Rahu, I would the from one Adriania, and Bebo more pomodin some pa, now a Bebo almost when you and I don't pay make it a point, sir. If I didn't know, maybe Bebo was in Pacho, dear, who here on Homa, one contempt. Now I feel what I could do with you. The kind of fish premix. I don't know what more the abas and Beboa fish a hold one year, woman, you know. And more yet tilapia farms, more catfish farms. Say catfish in the beginning, a bayaka, see with the two skills. Now, the year I'm will be at Johnny Panani Beji Hunting. As I said, we used to a fish premise, no, not with the friend, we are not with the man, a fish, you know, a bebo with your pan. And watching only your premise, no, ever was a the befra, and the name, and the man cocoa, one more two. I say, Wako to Kosia, or Tona Kessben, and the Domodia, and pay 1 year a year Fidico for Nimbo, make not Joe lay up premise, a bebo.
Kessben 92.9
the befra and Preco Diane, but your big premise in Preco, and the Comomo, a bomo, a boa, one more to me, I will be prepared. And until I pay so wood, and Pacho, you so pick premise, no, not for friend, and no for man Preco, and a bebo, and my woman so letting me any year. Brother premise, no, the Franco car year ton warm, and I yen one more quackoton, for the Koyemiane, I would donate to me. But the body no the bachelor, na me wo ho na bachelor. Akoko ni nya wanyi fair so no the bachelor bo a obetimi de na je. I don't see who tie me na wakoko no. Aya na anja ye basa. In fact, you want to do to the combo to do. But akoko na nkasa gina wa say nya so. Wa mani nuane no papa, I don't na aba ne sa. I don't pay the broiler premise no e dia ba. Enti Toby Ghana kuani a wonye nko. Broiler premise ni bi na fa fra omunuane na fa fi. Na ebebo ye ama nkoko na nyi ye ba. Toxin binder e yi ade bia enye bia di fra aboa ni mu. Na aboa ma aboa no so system no awie pe. I don't pay ukọ eye I'm here Tobu to know you be Dodowa main road in the swat. Ube hu Fidico for ewo ho. I don't pay for one more 0244 260 190 0244 260 190 and after 0242 769698 0242 769698. That when the Fidico any and come more and pay. Na Eclipse Collateral Management for say me more won kai say wo mo de pacho wo mo e de wo japade nkrata ni nyina no de ye adwuma na afi wo mo tua commission e wo ho ba eno nti anopai say wo tie me a pacho wo japade na wo bo nkrata de ato so no yo be nyina no eni say wo be fa na wo de aba Eclipse won che wo mo de be ye adwuma etua commission e wo eno achi no wo pelo pacho wo ni collateral anopai wo ni Eclipse Collateral Management for ni nkomo na won be bu amansa etimi aka collateral no ebe eno nko a na etimi ama loan no onsa etimi aka page your number is 0266999020 0266999020 na woni wo mo ni nko na for 0302551877 na woni Eclipse for ni nko ano pay but your one be so pa 18 after 9 na Emma's Global Link Limited for Edwo Tukwai wo do be too far and pay Emma's Global Link Limited for other romantics say abroche kono ayefo pa but you say wo tie man pay na wo yobi a wani je ho pa say wo nya ya aka wo be migrate from my Ghana mu akotena o man foforo so nanso woni ho nim de bia and pay numbers are maybe boss we pacho na woni Emma's Global Link Limited for any nkomo afi we student to person ko to our this year so e wa brochure and pay woni Emma's for any nkomo mo be ye visa application ni nyina na dia ma afi wo mo via schools no application no wo be ni nyina dia ma ko sise won sa be kan I20 na wo be to afi o my Ghana mo dia na bi Emma's for any obey adwuma ye abomo pa eno chi anopay pacho woni wo mo ninsa wo so na akwantu ho nsam de pacho de ye odadwen de ye okoda na de ye wo haw bia Emma's Global Link Limited for that Robert pacho ebe ye memre pacho wo kuma ase ene ne mpatemu a obekọ eye asafo labor wo mo ne senate office no edi nhwa ni mu ananso se ko eye White Cross Junction won cry ha Weja Kaswa main road no eso woman in West Africa Dakota House in the bay and pay udru ha to me anyone more akwakodin kobo and after 0504 20 3401 0504 20 3401 now when you want money kobo between so afre 0535 502499 0535 502499 na when Emma's Global Link Limited for any combo and one bejo so pa at your 20 after na high Kessben na Obatampa Prostate Center for other romantic but chose say we prostate no ho how nyina ebeko ma many of our in any combo bra na me na chima na kwaba ofa Maakye
me pese me de assembly ya tete yakoba mu this time
okay
Edru Kumase
say Obatampa wo Kumase
very good
that's right sir. That's right
obi a when you Kumase ne tabaka masa ne environs no ope yani a phenomena way 0249 another 49 61 66 0249 another 49 61 66 and I say Western Regional phenomena way 0246 04 34 58 me say Western Regional 0246 04 34 58 when you hon binya amwa afrisa no mo meni so ntino me de eno eto ena akra so when ya bitum frame say kaso kwan wan ne keka ho
yeah
nti when bitum aba Kessben ha Mr. Francis awase ho no omba omenye do ni bi ato wa untumi mba makachi na bia opposite fee bia bitum aba ho ba omenye bi ato Mr. Speaker
offer
michia achiefu a ani ahwefo a nyamre ehwe Kessben anopay na no ha se de nya nim no me kasafa prostitute ho enu ni yade a yankopon ayi madom amom aduru a me de boa amanfo nti mo ha nti na mam wo ha enu so metumi aka se eba prostitute ya hwe pa de a metumi nim se simebo aka se mini akansifo medam fua me number 1 metumi aka say Africa ha say ka say yi nipa miensa a hwe post de ade na ejame mu a enye complete because edro no any tumi no a say ade no nti enna ma me ye say dem ti sesi ameti na post de ade ne ade bi a eye mema edi be sem fie memfa sem fie duasa ene duanan eko enye mema na we ka postuta ehunuma kwa bi a bata eni sotwa no ho a ede enumu na jonso a dodo be ede jonso ni fie jonso twa mu eba ebe mamu no enam na ne jomba pitro ya pa ne se bema na oba hia edi nso bi boa spams na efri baby efri eba no edi nso bi no be ka se security food bi ema spams no ye light enough say between akọ oba no ho na sa hunam akwa we ya meka wasam yi ewumu a ehono in most men umu a ehono a bofofre no enlarged prostate and benign prostatic hyperplasia na no na se ehono sa no a edi dunsomu how bit say when so pi anajo ana so say since on count na say one more ya ha one more ya ha na ojun so gu ho ebisu ti say Johnson count no ko janso ojun so a kwansi na untumi Johnson no nyambai na wo be chima ansa Johnson aba bitu aba say ojun so no so wo ba Johnson be wi na Johnson bi aka ojun so twa no mu enti ojun so ya enche na Johnson asa aka obi na say o san ko Johnson enti Johnson ni bi no Johnson bi su ni say e ma ojun so na ojun so no Johnson no stream no pressure we chire no very slow nti I said ojun so wan hwe ya boju so fogu na so Johnson bi no e bi su ni say oboju so boja but one day so boju so boja ojun so boja ana so say e ma usisi ayoya o ma masamba ko fom na saa nsusu ina no onye hunu saa pa so hu se positive den abasuo na positive basuo a na eba ne saa no e dan se bo a wo be call hospital se bia wo hu saa condition wo call hospital wo call hospital a e san se hospital ni edu mu tu ayina sintu na edu e ma wo no e mo edu bi ti se some solution hydrochloride and as finasteride saa ndro mienu na dodo na e de ma hospital na eno no wonu madu ni ina no na positive na aye kese no a ekofa saa susu aso aba no e sechi aye kese because positive say a friend say and shrinky and I say bia how do me can say twi mu kura me shrinky ya and twitwi ya very good me da say and twitwi ya ensin that the man say enko say the na etida no a uda utwu mutan wonde ho da na no na yankopon ya madom am ho aduru a etumi shrinky prostate na enlarge no. There are a lot of evidence. And go for about me, machine or about my test. Me more do qua. Ukoba some test. Be no mamma do a call about mamma test no. Also the same thing in a costoda. A buffer from by all miss. No, and they do a shrinking posture now. I casino said the bay out between I do home. Because when you draw a best shrinking posture now, Uben me do a free. Na nanum breso bi sisamre enye ida na passage also so aya bia abunum ka say a fatal disease ekuniba first class e start here obadwi se bia bibi bokobi na o ye yuso kaka na wujun so but ni na passage na ni na no na ekonanim bedu ba bi no wo so one day be so say obadwi so no na passage wujun so aya aka wa yase a definitely local hospital ya be sure rubber so we obi a wa hospital ama ya mo tam solution na we regular hospital ya mo sa tam solution na finasteride na we da manager ya sure rubber ni we doctor ni we the next time we kono nurse na be hwe assistant rubber ma wo ade e be ma wo ye painkiller and antibiotic but hospital na ko fa sa how no ba ne de e da ho hwe ho a sa kasia na se eye den eye entinu eye kasia sa no a the last the terminal state they be doing say ebe cancers because bibi ahunu a aye kuro a part of the body bibi ahunu aye kuro nti say ehunu pa ehunu na say ebe kuro no a na friend cancer no na cancer no na ni ade a edo beko obi ani ho a mahunu say esiwanya prostate cancer ma adidi ni mu akọ ne nkase mu a wa transda nti bi ameka say prostate no esan say abofo ni ho aduro na ho aduro ni ho saa ni nti no dodo na nya prostate ade no de omukọ nsedo metwa ka sisi ayi ka sisi ayi dodo a e saa condition mu so when me shiami a metie ya edo beko because eduro bi enu ho a shrink prostate no say de medo no etie eyame adom na nkopon nam saa mre so e de adom me a me de boa wonya wo saa tibie no mu enti no metutu so obia se wo saa tibie no mu a mempa ba bi man green se bi a wanu num ndua ambo wonti no umpa mechi akwan wa wasem but me can't me say me woduro a single prostate no ma yi enwo ina afiri wo nyame nkwa bo na me ka wonya eba makache a me hwe omo ebitumi frame e de kan hia guma mababom because wa bre ama mabone dia ne se o fam sem ni nyame anyane sa nti me so bia o ti me se sia a wosati bia no mu se unu bi na wosati bia no mu o papa wadanfo wo fie wura ana obi a wonim so wosati bia no mu man fam me no man nkame no me no money is 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 me wo fifi plat last stop awo yen no kaswa kwantempon so udu me junction udu kaswa bisa say yen cho main lorry station na wo interchange ho no old market ho no interchange ne pe wo ko wa kase wo fifi down taxi usaka taxi no a kache da ban so busu obatampa junction so free ho ba me ho 103 minutes we do me ho ena me say eneso me kan no obi ho na bia na on fani radio no anan TV efin wa so TV no Kumasi ene ye wo Kumasi wo Kumasi ni kwaso a wo pedu ni bia 0249 49 61 66 0249 another 49 61 66 Western region for Enfre 0246 04 34 58 0246 04 34 58 na ompa ye kira kwan a oposto tin faun se de ya bia ojusa na aka wa yasa yasa okateta oba mamu aduro beyi emtela se ebi ba ha ya sha nkateta nko na sha yasa emto yi kire ahwefu kwa wa ha me na me hwe no a yeyi ni kateta sesi yi ono no ho ato no onam ne baby bok onam ne baby yo no pe ni pe bebre na aba ma hwe omo ho ato omo ena se bia junna ka wa yasa na yan sha okateta frame emre ni mu a oba mamu adura mu anom ama
Yokone Madam Cecilia Abnadapa and Office of the Special Prosecutor. Brenninti can I have a lot to say by the time Mame and Pension we Kwame.
Yes.
We need to investigate all of them.
Institutions, no.
Yes, institutions need now because Meme honestly speaking, Ubisamia, this is my opinion. Madam Cecilia Abnadapa omoni na eni die.
Okay.
Omoni Cecilia Abnadapa eni die. Na si eni ni di ni ye dia. And na say ye investigate the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Yoku.
Okay.
You understand? Because Kwame ubon kro no a ensam na ekokoso afani na camp no Kwame me ensisi so mame. Madam Cecilia Abnadapa ne obi afa de sika. En ye sika no yepe maame no e de akọ police station ena Ghana foate say sika ya wie free ni fie no doso no do this and a special prosecutor the mandate HSO say when investigate government officials and politically exposed people who say sika na maame no ya wie free ni fie no e doso too much. It will invite my minister investigating and we invade my mini fee as a quackable search and wa confiscate the normal nyina Kwame investigation e course no ye na ye di akiri
yeah
and at the office of the special prosecutor January 25 2004 year actually come Yoko was say after letter or trial command no was say after nearly 7 months of extensive investigation by the office of the special prosecutor and a parallel inquiry by the Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI of the United States, no direct and immediate evidence of corruption has been found in the seized funds and frozen bank account linked to Mrs. Dapa and her associates. Just say, office of the special prosecutor not try to come out you could say 7 months no about on no na address or investigation. What the FBI free US now babeka. But the normal or confiscate any do frozen any now or freezy any now. When you quite do be and farm papa.
Yeah.
Mameno. Elutino o pia assembly the ama yoko. Say yoko for him. Watch some money laundering. So the money laundering now it tells you say and yet the mandate of the special prosecutor. So yoko for NS investigated the money laundering.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now Kwame, what kind of yoko for almost mandate no the your friend say yoko, that's the Economic and Organized Crime Office Act 2010. What kind of functions of the office or say investigate, separate investigate, and on the authority of Attorney General prosecute serious offenses that involves blah 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 blah. I don't want to go there. One was investigate. That's investigating means that the Yoko betimi investigate abra on country Attorney General or seek any permission from Attorney General.
Yeah.
And on the authority of the Attorney General. Attorney General so no authority betimi say Yoko say or investigate. So when the Yoko started the investigation, the Deputy Executive Director of Yoko, Bashiru Dipela, and Mr. Emmanuel Ayibasintile, on the Director of Investigation of Office of the Special Prosecutor, say, Omo SPD app report now, Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Bama Yoko, Omo SPD the app, and according to them, the Yoko for say, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, a delay yama on the 1st of February. The Yoko had to write back to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and remind you of the reporter on Bedinaso investigating Madame Cecilia Bradapa. And still was delayed. And they did the follow up. I'm just a letter on try to come on. A common front desk. And my brand be a friend Solomon Tete. On a J letter no a sign say. Office of the Special Prosecutor almost a letter na Yoko do eba almost say almost hand over the report and more no nyaduma. They did another follow up the following day. And according to Yoko, the report delayed. So you ask yourself, say, how come that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, you are doing transition, or hand you over the Amobi, you wrote to the person, then the panel chasing. Your friend said had to take the Nipano or no Babaye institutional Babaye investigation to chase the report. I don't get it. The American watcher say it's like engineering. Both parties in na kabomwa had to drop the matter. Me sana mi huno.
Yeah, so utie Adam sene no a wo mandate no institutions two ni nyina mandate ye different. I mean OSP no ni mandate obey investigate money laundering.
Yes, that's why I refer to the Yoko.
Exactly. And he said wama lead, wama wo Yoko no leader. You also an investigative body. You don't necessarily need OSP say what did details be or will be the beba.
But that is how it's supposed to be. Administratively, what me for no country be say, I refer the matter to you. To matter what? I need criminal you ready be that. I need a report from day one where you started from. Ubube drew the money laundering and you now say a honor maybe jurisdiction. I need to know. And then that's the basis. And then I mean, me de be prosecution, me de be try me money laundering so. And then the mama me fair idea about what is going on, what was going on between you and Madam Cecilia Abradapa. Kwame, then you delay this report. Jamaican what I say. Anna, Yoko for us no. They sought your friend say advice from the Attorney General. I remember the Attorney General, the position is a political appointment. Madam Cecilia Abradapa, the position is a political appointment. And that political appointment, they belong to the same political party. So the Attorney General now, Yoko no seeking a free no honor, advice if you know honor. And the Attorney General no try to my Yoko no catch and say, Office of the Special Prosecutor, per the report on the buy say, what you chance no bibia fa mo ma me no e be ya chachidi. Jamaica what I say. But Attorney General nim say, Office of the Special Prosecutor, they are no opening in Sanka. But this time around, my elevate to certain level, which is beyond my jurisdiction. It's a money laundering. So why then do you still have to tell the person to drop it? Jamaica what I say. And two, Argentina, the Yoko was say investigate and on the authority of the Attorney General. So the Yoko no, you can investigate. Abraham can't Attorney General. Why didn't you go straight to investigate? But seek your friend say, sort your friend say permission or advice from the Attorney General.
Because you don't need that endorsement.
Yes, and you too. You want your bet to me seek advice. And at the because the reason why Kwame, the framers of this law here and say asabi bet me abra ne fa Attorney General no Jamaica what I say. That is why they have given you a freedom. Say you can investigate and also a do maybe a bet me siki you very say advice. So who shut the whole thing now? I don't get it. The Office of the Special Prosecutor is delaying the thing. This man also can investigate, seeking clarification, and the Attorney General on also you seeking advice from him. And say, at the end of money laundering, it is different from the letter that you know try Office of the Special Prosecutor try, but yet to catch yourself drop the matter.
Very well. Nana, you call that time was so.
Me who say the whole thing and you can now boom. Office of the Special Prosecutor, Attorney General, and the Yoko, and I come to drop the matter. I mean, a brand new what that person may be chair cheddar. Kwame.
Yeah, fashion.
Yeah, fashion. I'm here.
Ochina, you're bad. I wish you had said, Mammy, and I was here no pay ye, Papa, said, Unya Daje, Etie, you do see Sergio adding the team, no, at the Medford action, no, at twice. So, Medina Kwame Appiah Kubi show was produced by Richard Appiah Sapon, Amos, Fifi, and the rest of the team, ably supported by Kojo Preko Dankwa as executive producer. Don't me any Ochina, Yawada. We'll be back here once again to serve our nation, Ghana. Good morning and enjoy the rest of your day. We are out.